Ooh, it's such a great day today. It's the perfect day for doing a still life.
And here is our inspiration image, an orchid and a little elephant.
So once again, I mark the parameters of my image. And this means that I don't want anything really to go below this dot. I want my orchid leaves to end here and my flower to sort of come up and just under this little dot there. So I start with an incredibly annoyingly pale drawing that you can hardly see. The drawing is just to give me an idea of placement, and I'm going to start with a pale yellow wash so you don't have to do too much to start with. So make sure your yellow is nice and clean, or at least as clean as this is. And you want to mix up a couple of teaspoons full of light yellow wash. With clean water and a nice thick brush, you're going to just lightly wash over everything with pale yellow. And bear in mind that you won't be able to erase anything once the yellow is on, so that's why we keep our drawing so pale. You can keep the area around the flowers a little whiter and lighter if you like, and I've gone basically out almost to within an inch of the edge. You can see how the paint is still shining on my paper, much too wet to do anything, so now is a good time to check your phone. I like some soft edges and some bleeding in my painting, so once the paper is no longer shiny, I'm going to start to put in a little bit of the green. And the blue over the yellow is going to make a nice green. I want my elephant to have a sharp shape, so I test him to make sure he's dry before going on with the blue. And while I have the blue, and I think it's pretty dry, I'm going to put in this stem back here. And also the stem over here. Still with the blue, because we're working in layers, we'll put in the shadow of the pot. And also the shadow formed by the little elephant himself. And at this stage, we'll let things dry. From blue, we'll move to red, or in this case, sort of brown with a burnt sienna on the terracotta pot. As you move round the pot toward the edge, you may want to increase the pigment to water ratio and go just a little bit darker. I'm going to backtrack a moment because I forgot my elephant's tail. I'm mixing a tiny bit of pink with a little bit of magenta 37 for the buds. For the orchid flowers, I'm going to use that same pink magenta mix and start with the front petals. Since we're following this same approach of basically 3 colours, we go back to our yellow and we're going to paint in the foreground. With this same yellow, I'm also going to paint a sort of paisley pattern in on the background.
You can hear the rain drumming in on the skylight above.
So back to blue for darker on the elephant and on the leaves. A blue shadow on the back legs too. And with your blue, you can add a tiny bit of shadow to the buds as well. So by focusing on basically just 3 colors and going from yellow to blue to pink and back again, you build up a beautiful internal harmony. Now back to red. I'm going to do the soil in the pot. I'm going to make it a little bit darker, so I go with my burnt sienna, but a tiny touch of Van Dyke brown just to darken it up. The elephant gets a pale wash of burnt sienna over the back leg as well as the front. So with my magenta, number 34, I just add some nice sharp details. And to tie the magenta in with the elephant, we're going to give the elephant a little bit of magenta detail. And then last minute touches, a little yellow at the throat of the orchid flower and around the eye of our elephant. And just a tiny touch more of this beautiful dark blue at the base of the leaves. So your beautiful 3-color or 4-color still life is now finished. So here is your beautiful, basically 3-color still life in layers, and I can't wait to see what you do.